Welcome back to another episode of Cobra Kai Companion, and I am Peter,
And I am Brianna.
and we're back. We're back to talk about the new Legacy trailer dropped by Netflix, and a few seconds of season three tease.
Yeah, it was pretty boring overall, I think.
Yeah, meh
Uh,
is the word I think I'd use to describe it.
Pretty generic, exactly what I kind of expected.
Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding?
No
Holy
one.
shit! It gave
Absolutely
us
no
life.
one. Absolutely no one. Um,
um.
you first.
Uh. Dang it! I was about to ask you first reaction. Okay.
Oh,
All
me
right.
first reaction?
Hmm.
Um, okay, first of all, Hurwitz was right about the goosebumps because even though I've watched the first two seasons, God knows how many times, and literally only God knows how many times, um, I got goosebumps. I did. Um,
And it was beautiful, like he said it would be.
yes, it was absolutely gorgeous. And then I saw they had put in their tweet that season three's coming in 2021, so I already went in a little bummed. So I saw the and season three coming in 2021, and I thought that was going to be the end of it. And then they showed that shot of Okinawa, and I screamed. And I was babysitting my 3-month-old granddaughter at the time, and she was asleep, but she was not anymore after Grandma screamed.
Right. Well, it was all worth it.
Definitely.
She's gonna learn when she watches back this YouTube clip.
Yes.
um, yeah, I nearly lost my shit. Same thing. Like there is so like we've seen seasons one and two so often, and there's so many ways you can cut it, but somehow Netflix pulled it off. They gave us something fresh. They gave us a cut up version of "You're the Best."
Oh my God.
That was amazing.
Not just chopped up, but it's like I think they redid the backing music to it, kind of like
That's
they
what, yeah.
did to make it harder and darker.
Modern, maybe, the change the tone of it a little bit, but it,
It took me a good probably 30 seconds to realize exactly what I was listening to, and it was like, "Oh my God, they did it."
mhm.
They said they were holding it back for the perfect moment, and they found it.
Do you think that's their decision or Netflix's decision, though?
I don't
You know what I
care.
mean? Yeah. Hey, okay, I co-sign on that. Yeah,
Right.
doesn't
I don't
matter.
care whose idea it was. It was an amazing idea. Um, and I can't imagine any better way. Um, I think we do. Okay, so we're gonna hold back the last like 12 seconds, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Till the end.
Let's just talk about the Legacy trailer first.
Um, the other day I was very kind of moody and broody on Twitter. Um, because they were talking about it being a young adult show. It's going to be marketed in the young adult market on Netflix, and it just kind of felt almost like a gut punch, because it's like, well, what about us? We're the ones who started this. I haven't been a young adult in 30 years.
Hmm.
Um, but using that music for this trailer with as much Johnny and Daniel as is in this and hyping up the legacy, hyping up the rivalry, they most definitely want us, no matter how it's being marketed. They want Generation X watching this show. They know what
Yes.
they've got.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's very deliberate of how they used footage from the original movie. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm looking over at our live group chat, and people are kind of talking about spoilers and stuff. All the really big fans, the super fans, the OG Cobra Kai fans, as we're coined, we've been watching the show for the last couple of years. So to us, it would be spoilers. To everybody else, like they should have gotten on board in the last year or two. So shame on them if they think it's gonna spoil their watch of it. But I don't think that's gonna stop their watch of it.
No, I don't. But I also understand the people who are saying, because, I mean, Netflix took so much care to keep us from even knowing Robbie, until the reveal of him being Johnny's son. And there was just so little marketing done, that revolved around him being Johnny's son, and there was very little publicly done. Tanner didn't really give, very many pre-release interviews or anything like that. It's like they were keeping Robbie as this secret reveal for this, the second episode. So to have the "That's my dad" right there in the trailer did throw me at first.
Okay.
But I think it threw me because it's in conjunction with a hell of a lot less Sam. Like, they showed Miguel kissing Tori.
Right. I mean, you know what? Maybe when we get the reveal in Ace Degenerate for those new people, maybe it's gonna hit them a little bit harder. Like, oh damn, didn't expect that.
That was Strike
You know?
First. Robbie's not an
Yeah.
Ace Degenerate at all.
No, no, no. Wait. No, no, no. When the was it Ace Degenerate? Yeah, it was in Ace Degenerate when Johnny goes to LaRusso's to pick up his card and he sees Sam. That's what I'm talking about. That
Sam
reveal.
being Daniel's daughter. Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry. Words are very difficult, especially after today.
Okay, so keep her relationship to Daniel a secret in the trailer, but then not hide Robbie's relationship to Johnny?
Yeah, because it's Cobra Kai. Johnny's the lead. Maybe give the people a little something
Ish.
ish. And because I was surprised, seeing Sam being Daniel's daughter. That revealed the hug at the dealership.
Yeah, and that
Maybe
was
that's
a big deal too. I
yeah.
remember I remember, that first scene with Robbie on the phone with Johnny and going, "Oh God, Johnny's got a kid too, and his kid hates him."
Hmm.
You call it at that moment that Robbie's going to end up with Daniel, but it just I want all of these people that are watching this Friday to feel the same things we did.
It's hard. It's gonna be really hard, especially because season 2 is out. When we started, there wasn't any of that, and they're combining 2 seasons. So what do you do?
Right. And they
You
don't
know,
have to wait. There is that. These lucky bastards do not have to wait a year to find out what happens after Kreese walks through the door.
right?
Um,
They also don't have
and these
to.
lucky bastards only have to wait about 4 months for season 3. But I think it'll definitely be worth it.
Oh, absolutely, it will. I mean, and this is just today with us now. My phone was blowing up. My watch was blowing up. Um,
I was trying
I
to
was,
work again.
yeah,
I don't
you were
even know
trying to
why I
work.
do that.
Luckily, I had the day off. Like, I was looking at the time when things started blowing up. I still would have been in the office sorting mail, probably keep running off to like check my phone or something. I don't know. I don't know how I would have gotten through the morning at work, but I was lucky enough to have the morning off, engage as much as I could. And I'm not going to reveal who, but I also had an interview this morning with a season 1 cast member.
Mm-hmm.
So I was absent for a bit on social media, and then after that interview, I checked my phone and I got a text from the wife. Hey, you want to go meet up at the park, to go see the family? So I went to go do that. So it was like an incredible morning for me. But I didn't even get to talk about my reaction. I mean, I guess I kind of did. I really enjoyed the new cut, the addition of footage from the original movie, the music choice. I quite enjoyed it. It was fresh and brand new. I'm excited to welcome in the new fans.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when I saw that shot of Okinawa, I'm like, okay, wait, what is this? What is this? I was thrown off, and then you see the sigh, you hear the talk. I'm like, wait, who is this character? And immediately I went to Chosen. That was my thought initially. Then this is before we even see the flip. I don't
Yeah.
even know how we go from here.
Right.
Quite honestly.
I'm looking in the chat here and I see Amy saying she thinks it's cut in a way that makes the spoilers not especially spoilery.
Yeah.
Carrie agreeing with her. A lot of context is missing, which is good. That's very true. By not making a big deal of it, I can see where people are not going to go in expecting these to be big, huge revelations.
Right.
Yes, Kreese is in the trailer, but they also have 2 years. They don't know where he shows up. The only thing that's really going to be spoiled is that he's not dead when Johnny says he is.
Right.
But how many people are going to remember that, a second and a half of him in the trailer 5 days later when at, 6 o'clock in the morning, they hear Johnny say John Kreese is dead? How many
You
people are
know,
honestly going to remember that?
and again, like when Cobra Kai first aired in 2018, all the big fans were on board, right? We started our free trial. Many of us eventually paid for premium to get it. All the Johnny Come Latelys, Johnny Come Latelys.
Right?
Is that right?
That
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I said something right. Um, for them, they're gonna see Kreese, and you're right. They're gonna completely forget about it. These are the majority of them are probably casual watchers, and they're gonna become like reinvigorated fans, I guess. And then I think they're still gonna be like, oh crap, yeah, I forgot about that part in the trailer. Not a lot of these people go back and rewatch trailers like we do,
Right.
So that's the other thing.
I will not testify to it being on my hard drive already. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, well, honestly, like I have my phone on a tripod facing me, and I have the GIF that the Cobra Kai account tweeted at Carrie.
They made that
Yeah,
specifically for her.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. I've
Which was
watched it on loop
awesome, Carrie.
for like 30 times right now. Um, I don't know, but the reason I do have this pulled up because before I went in brumation, right after all the things that happened this morning, I did put a poll out on Twitter and I asked better morning, August 23rd or August 24th. And the first 10 went immediately August 24th. So since then, a total of, and we still have 20 hours left, you guys. 26 votes right now. We have 85% saying today was the better morning
Oh,
in
yeah.
comparison.
I mean, yesterday was awesome.
It was. I mean, like, but also like some of these voters might be, they still haven't seen Cobra Kai seasons 1 or 2.
Right. Going back to the chat again here. Mikey, who is L? You said L is not in the trailer. Who is that?
I don't know. She sounds pretty.
Right. And then Cobra Kai fan says, now I need to see again Karate Kid Part 2. Yes. Highly advocate it.
I almost watched it last night just because. And this couldn't have come at a better time. Like, look, guys, we don't get leaked information. Like, we had no idea that we were going to see somebody who appears to be chosen or anything like that.
Hey,
But
we're not talking about the end yet. Shh.
oh, okay. What are we talking about then?
We're not talking about the end yet because I have like pictures and stuff for that.
Oh, okay.
What do you think
All
took
right.
me so long?
Oh, work? I don't know. Okay, so okay. All right, where do you want to pick up?
No, just keep talking. I'm teasing.
Okay. Well, so I saw the shots of Okinawa. I go, oh my God, this is new stuff. So like my mind is like processing so slow, trying to take everything in all at once. Like you know how it is when you first see something I mean, Brianna, just like when you saw the cars under the
Mm-hmm.
tarp. Yeah, it's something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like wait, is this what I think it is?
Right.
So I'm watching this and I just start tearing up. And a lot of these trailers and teasers, they excite me. They get me amped up and ready for what's to come. This legit is like something I've been wanting is to see Chosen return again.
Yes.
You know, I've said it on some episodes before. I'm not sure if any of the. Oh God, my eyes are starting to get a little warm just to,
Dude, we did a
because
whole episode about whether or not
we
Chosen was going to come back.
Yeah, yeah. I want to re-listen to that and maybe re-invite the Cobra guys back on and talk about like, I don't know, maybe we'll wait for more stuff, but damn,
Oh God, yes, our
you
side
know,
bets. We were
yeah,
right
yeah,
and you
yeah.
were wrong. Neener, neener, neener.
But I'm watching this and I'm like, yes, like I often bring up all the time the lack of representation in Hollywood, especially Asians. And in the 80s, I had very few people that looked like me on screen. So Chosen, yeah, a bad guy. He was my Johnny Lawrence to those that love Johnny Lawrence. He was my Mike Barnes to those that like Mike Barnes.
He was your super hot, pretty bad guy.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Those are all accurate.
Yes.
Um, and my interview today, just to kind of tease that, the person that I spoke with, because I asked about playing a good person versus a bad person because this person has done so many different roles, and the actor said, well, even the bad people, they don't think they're bad people. So to play the person, you have to kind of just accept who they are and whatnot. But so basically, I'm getting like, yeah, Chosen was a bad guy, but to me, it was just a character that looked like me and kind of reminded me of a relative. Um,
Yeah, you said he looked like. Well, actually, I've seen pictures of your uncle. He does look like your uncle.
yeah. So and Miyagi looks like my father-in-law. So yeah. Oh man.
All right, so
Anyway,
let's see what else have we got over here. Natalie Shannon, are we doing watch parties on the 28th? We're doing at least one at midnight or 12:01 Pacific. We'll probably start about 15 minutes early to watch Ace Degenerate together.
right.
Peter will most likely have to go to bed. I am going to take off work early and take a nap so I can stay up all night because I'm just that big of a nerd. So, if anybody is interested in keeping it going, we can, but we don't have anything planned to spend 10 hours watching TV together. I'm not averse to the idea.
Yeah.
So if
I
anybody else
may.
wants to, we can keep it going and people can just pop in and out as they want. But
Right.
um, uh, Thon Lee, are we getting a trailer soon for season 3? Probably not for a while. At least not until after Friday.
Right. I can't imagine it coming before the debut of seasons 1 and 2 on Netflix. Um, so before we again talk about that very end, do we want to talk about the 2021 or are we done with the Legacy trailer?
Oh no, we are not done with the Legacy trailer
Okay.
because we have some things. First of
All
all,
right.
we have the two most important shots, the two most relevant shots to any and all things, all of my interests in the entire thing. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here's the first one.
All right.
Absolutely zero doubt why this is relevant to my interests, but just the seeing Daniel on the receiving end of a fight that's not going well for him.
I mean, a sparring. I mean, I wouldn't call it a fight.
Yeah, yeah, he does look very scared.
I would be too, but
Roadblocks, but I don't think he's actually like in fear for his life because he's not fighting like he's in fear for his life.
I'm all of a sudden getting like some fanfic ideas going through my head with this very image.
Yeah, they've all been floated, believe me.
Okay.
The Chosen Stabs Daniel fic should begin appearing in about 6 hours. Okay. Next is this. And it's a little bit distant,
Okay.
but I think it's actually clear enough to see. But just in case you can't, I did that. And
you zoomed in. So
yeah, I'm
this
sorry, that's Yuji Okamoto.
right. So the shot is in mid flip. The two characters, one of Daniel and that is 98.9%.
99.99999% Yuji Okamoto's face.
Right. I mean, it's the reaction. It's definitely the look.
Well, not just that, it's his eyebrows
Right.
and
There's
it's
a
his
lot of talk about the
nose.
eyebrows. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how long have we been staring at this man's face?
I did one time for like 3 hours
right?
in person.
Um, and someone else had brought up that it might be Kinji, which Kinji is one of the Japanese characters whose name we have been given. But I went and looked up that actor. His name is Michael Sasaki, or Sasaki. I'm probably pronouncing that totally wrong, but that's not him. That's absolutely not the actor that has been cast to play Kinji. So,
I believe I've seen the picture of that actor that you're talking about, and also that almost makes no sense to tease a new character.
right, right,
I mean, I don't
and
want to say no sense. I mean, we don't work in the industry, so we don't know. But
that's one thing that Debbie had brought up. You know, why would they do all this build up to, as she said it, Daniel's new rival Juan, which, even if that wasn't Yuji Okamoto, that is definitely not a Juan. But
right,
okay, but it makes sense. Why do all this build up? Amy in the chat, dude's face is softer than Yuji's and his forehead is smaller. This is Yuji or someone who looks exactly like him. She's
are you sure about that?
I agree with her 100%. Um, I also very much liked Amy's comment on the Facebook group where she said that if this is not Yuji, but this is someone else with his face, she very much wants to know who this person is because she has very much liked this face for 34 years. So if there's another one, that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, as far as I know, he's only got daughters.
The other thing worth noticing, back to this picture,
Which is the zoomed out, the actual frame of the flip here,
yes,
right before, yeah.
And this one came from Kaz, who is incognito in the chat as Anime Blood Samples over there.
Oh, is that who it is? Okay.
Yes, Anime Blood Samples is Kaz. That's my wifey over there.
Again, I've been a little off, so I haven't even freaking visited the group chat on Facebook. I saw there was like 78 comments in there.
Oh yeah, we've been having fun.
Clearly,
if you look in the middle of the frame there on the back on that low shelf, the second photo from the left is Chojun Miyagi.
Right.
So this is obviously a wealthy man's home. At least from what you're seeing out the window and the decoration style, we are meant to believe this is in Okinawa. Whether it is or not, I don't know. For all I know, those are, palm trees in Atlanta.
It could be, but also, like, if we're talking about Miyagi, again, like, that just, it only makes sense that it's in Okinawa. Who's he talking to about Miyagi? That's not his immediate family members,
and
inside.
Who, other than Chosen, would know things about the Miyagi family that Daniel doesn't?
Right.
It has to be him. It is him. But I also cut out those last few seconds. We can actually watch the new part if anyone is interested.
Anybody want to watch this in the group chat here? Why don't you guys just type in like 555 or something like that?
I'm going to shoot you.
Why? Why would you do that?
I much prefer a yes. Okay.
We're getting both yes and 555. We got to show it from Carrie.
Oh,
of course, we do from Marvin. All right, so we got all the fives. All the fives.
Right.
Okay, so here's a little story. A little tidbit why I specifically picked 555. Usually, when you see that, it's somebody from like Southeast Asia that uses that. I know in my language, 5. Well, our translation for 5 is ha. That's how you say 5. So 555 means ha ha ha. Exactly. So that's why I went with that.
Okay, we're gonna stop talking now, and we're gonna play this.
Let's do it. Let's watch it. Or is
right.
the people at home gonna be able to hear this?
They will hear it.
Form?
You
cool.
Unfortunately will not. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lucky bastards.
Oh crap. Then how can you answer the question at the? Okay. All right. Hang on.
I know
everybody.
the question. I've been quoting it all damn morning already.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Mr. Miyagi treated me like a son. He wouldn't keep any secrets from me. Are you sure about that?
All right, and there it is.
Whew, the way he grabs that sigh.
Um, right? I mean, there's just so much here. We know that Daniel and Chosen do have a history with sharp, pointy things. um,
Oh,
the
boom, boom.
spear and the sigh, and
Oh, is that what we're talking about? Okay.
no, we're talking about actual weaponry. Um, uh, that does actually also, next to Chojun Miyagi, does look like the picture of Miyagi Shimpu Sensei that Chosen stabbed in the face in 1985. Um, so, Peter, how many times have you watched the trailer?
The trailer in its entirety, I've seen one time.
Okay. Did you catch what they threw at the end for you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yay!
Man, I swear to God, like it's so funny. Okay, I got to be honest. I thought it was a little cute when you guys all like, "Wait, did you hear the drum? Wait, there was a drum." And I'm all like, "Man, I swear to God, I felt like they isolated it specifically for my ears or something because I picked it up immediately."
Oh,
Thanks,
that
Netflix. You guys must be listening to our shows.
I completely missed it. Like, I mean, obviously I heard it, but it just didn't not sink into my brain that that's what it was. It was just this really cool sound at the end. Um, but yeah, it's the drum.
Yeah, I sat there again. I was trying to process everything because it was just coming so quick, and it's just a few seconds. It's all at the tail end of a season 1 and 2 trailer, mind you. And so, like when I'm, sitting there with my jaw literally on the ground, tearing up because I wasn't expecting this. All I heard was the drums at that point. And I felt like everything was just kind of moving in slow mo for me.
Right. Well, in that case, we both got something that made us very happy.
You got more
Because
Daniel.
I got this
You got everything.
specifically.
All of this.
To which John Hurwitz was like, "I thought you'd like that." Well,
Wait,
duh.
was that? You know what? I saw that like on a notification on my watch. Where was that? Was that on Twitter?
Yeah, that was on
Okay.
Twitter. Because I posted that and I was like, "Okay, this is what's going to keep me existing for the next however long." And he was like, "Yeah, I thought you'd like that."
I gotta say,
I like
after,
that.
oh yeah, I love it, and the look on his face too. Again, like the way this character grabs that side, it's there's some attitude to that.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
there's, woof, it's a little heated, I would say. Um, After all the interactions I've had, mostly on Twitter this morning, not one person, and this is the initial. Like I've seen a couple since I've been back on social media, but this morning, the initial reaction, ain't nobody pointed out. Damn it, we gotta wait till 2021. No, everybody was excited as shit for the Legacy trailer and who is possibly chosen.
Right.
Everybody was excited about this.
It depends on where you look. There were people on Hurwitz post. There were people on Ralph's um, calling them liars.
Oh, uh,
Um, what Ralph has to do with anything, I have no idea. Um, as we've said before, it's not like the man is walking around with the season in his pocket.
right.
Um, they
I
did
mean,
not lie.
eh,
They were told what they knew. They've told us that for months,
right.
that they were telling us everything they knew. And that means that if they told us the end of summer, they were told at one point that it would be the end of summer. They didn't lie to us.
Those people didn't watch our stream. That's exactly what John said in our live stream with Ralph and Billy, that everything that they told us, that's what they knew at the time.
Right.
So I really wish I could go in and just tell people to FO. But I'm trying to be better.
Well, I mean, I
More positive
tried,
presence.
right? I
Yeah,
mean, I was like, okay, everyone, we're going to stop calling the big three and Ralph liars. We're going to stop stomping around like entitled little brats. We're going to act like adults here. Um, but I get the sting, because we all felt that when we saw that tweet, and right there in the words of the tweet, season 3 coming 2021. It's
Right.
like instant deflate, it's like, oh my god, we thought we were
I
gonna.
hesitated. I hesitated to click play when I saw that in the headline or in the title for the tweet. I was like,
Right.
wow.
Movie Vibe says in the chat there, 2021 is kind of far away. Could be January 2021 or could be May. Okay, that's true. I myself am leaning more toward the beginning of the year. And I will tell you, January and February is generally uh, television hiatus anyway, right? So this season, this year, it's going to be even worse. It's going to be a literal desert of programming come January, February, through there.
Not a lot of things were filmed.
Right. So, when better to drop this enormous show, that by that point, you've got the new fans from Netflix have had, 5, 6 months to sit and stew and get. Okay, they're never going to catch up to where we are as far
Right.
as waiting for season 3 goes. We definitely have the upper hand, I guess you would say, on that. They're never going to
Right.
catch us. They're never going to be as frustrated as we are. They will never wait almost 2 years for this season, but they will be at least as excited as we are, if not as damn thirsty.
Right. And we got to remember it is an incoming, it's going to be a lot of brand new fans from around the world. There's no there's no rush to put out a season 3 when you're about to bring in seasons 1 and 2 for people like brand new people to watch anyway. You got to give them some time to digest and then have a demand for the season 3 because if you release it all at once, you put all your eggs in one basket, how are we going to know that the numbers are even good to get renewed? Right? I know people were
Right.
like, "Well, season three's been ready for a long time. YouTube could have put it out." Well, yes, that's true, but also guess what? YouTube wasn't giving us anything past season 3.
Right. Right. And Sean Crossan just asked in the chat, does anyone know if Netflix has committed to a fourth season? They have not said for sure. The night that we did the live stream with the big three and Ralph and Billy, off mic, asked them if we could ask them that question, and they said no. So if that was part of the negotiation, it's still secret. But we can use a little common sense, because we know that the reason they left YouTube is because YouTube told them no to a season 4.
Right.
Common sense says they're not going to turn around and take it somewhere else that has not told them yes. If season 4 was the whole reason they left, it had to be a huge part of the reason that they went where they did. And that's just common sense. That's nothing, because literally we asked them, hey, can we ask you this? And they said no. So we have no clue. But common sense says that, yeah, they wouldn't do it unless they had something.
Right. And we have to remember now that it's going onto Netflix, this is going to be globally available to just about everybody in the world. Okay.
Right.
And if there is no buildup to a season 3 by releasing it prematurely, it may not do well. You want to build the suspense and the anticipation for that next season. 1 and 2 is available, boom, throw it out there. Yeah, us fans that have been around since 2018, 2019, we're going to feel it a little bit more because we have been waiting and we've seen all these. But also, we're a fraction of that population that's about to be exposed to it for the very first time.
Right. I mean, we're talking, we might be 10, 15 million of us, that watch it enough to consider ourselves a fan, right? Skimming off the top for repeat watches and skimming off the people that just watched it but then didn't get any deeper with it. The people that would consider themselves fans, a little bit lower. When you're talking about, people that are actually active or trying to be active in the online fandom, At most, I would say 15, 20,000. And that's if you believe that every member of a certain Facebook group is a human being. So it's probably closer to, I would say, probably 10. So they're looking at, this core group of about 10,000 people that are like so into it, and then out of those 10,000 people, there's 2 or 3,000 that are the ones that are going to go to conventions, and the ones that are going to buy merch, and the ones that, that they're going to make the extra money off of.
Right.
They're looking at turning those 2,000 people into hundreds of thousands. They're looking at turning those 15,000 people into a million. They're looking at turning those, 35 million casual watchers into 100 million, 200 million. It's like astronomical numbers.
Mm. Mm-mm.
So we can't be so entitled that we make it all about us, because we are literally, you want to talk about big fish, small pond?
Yeah, I was about to make that same analogy.
Wait till
Yeah.
Saturday morning, because that's when the big pond
Whew.
opens up. And if you
Yeah.
can't swim, you're going to drown, because it's going to happen really fast.
Yeah, we're gonna be like Robbie and Sam on the wheel, and then we're gonna jump straight to Robbie and Sam on the beach with the wide open ocean.
Right. Junior Carmona, back up in the chat a little bit, said, surprised Robbie's not there because everyone was saying he was going to go to Okinawa with Daniel. Not everyone. For some reason, people got it in their heads that a 16-year-old boy with no money, no passport, no
No
current
point of
custodial
contact.
parent because
Yeah.
his mother is in rehab, who's running from both of his fathers, with, absolutely no way to get there, is somehow going to be able to jump on a plane in 2018 and fly to a foreign country on his own. That's never going to happen.
No? Okay.
If if Robbie goes to Okinawa, first of all, they're not going to show us that in the trailer. And second of all, I don't know that he would go there with Daniel originally. I think whatever Daniel's going there for originally, obviously, based on what we see in this screen cap, based the look on his face, the sound of his voice when he's talking about Mr. Miyagi, he's sounding very betrayed. Which I don't want to see, but at the same time I do.
Okay.
Just because of the drama. I'm an angst whore.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, very sure about that. And I've been waiting, for these 2 seasons, because Johnny gets the meaty, angsty plot line, and Miguel has all of his stuff going on, and Robbie has all his stuff going on, and Sam, and it's like everybody has these really meaty plots, and Daniel has one scene in the dojo with Johnny. And it's like, where is Daniel's angst? Where is his where is his shatter point? We haven't seen it yet. I've been waiting for it, and I think this is it. I really do.
So, do we want to talk about The Secret?
We have a secret?
Do we? No, not us, but like Miyagi's secret.
Oh, speculate on what Miyagi's secret is.
Yes, words. They're not easy for me.
Yes, we can absolutely speculate on. Well, I was like, what secret do we have? If you have a secret, I don't have a secret.
So,
So I was very confused.
yeah, I haven't put a lot of thought into this, but I have, I guess, just one idea that came to mind, and I was like, okay, that's something that I can bring up during the live stream. Maybe Chosen has said something that Miyagi was actually very handy with weaponry, and that's not what Daniel doesn't believe. It's maybe that Daniel was, I mean, not Daniel, but Mr. Miyagi might have been a little bit more lethal than Daniel knew. Maybe this is where he's trying to find the roots of Miyagi-Do, right? Maybe Mr. Miyagi was a little bit more vicious, maybe a little bit more violent.
That actually had not occurred to me, but now that you mention it, makes a whole lot of sense because after season 2, I was like, oh, yes, he did teach Daniel to fight with weapons, right? Because
We see him with the
not,
bow.
right, because not teaching Daniel how to fight with weapons almost got him killed. But he doesn't really look all that prepared for the Sai either.
No, he doesn't. You know,
So,
and also just to kind of tease an upcoming video that we're gonna drop. I kind of dive in a little bit more about Mr. Miyagi's time in service and what he might have gone through to achieve the medals and awards that, excuse me, that he was awarded. And some of that stuff talks about hand-to-hand combat and blowing up bunkers and stuff like that. So if we're to believe that in the video, that is very possible and
it really
likely.
is. And if he intentionally did not teach Daniel how to fight with the lethal weapons,
And we're not talking about the movies.
right, it would have been after that. Oh, the lethal. Oh, for God's sake, will you stop? If he only taught him, but then again, Daniel also has a sword on the table, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he fights with it, right?
Right. See, and this is something that we don't know either, right? And I feel like we brought this up before. Daniel has mentioned that, he has alluded to that he has gone to Okinawa at least, to return at some point, right?
Right, because it was his first trip, which
Right.
means there were
So
more after.
it is very possible that when Daniel goes back, it's not the first time that he runs into Chosen again.
Oh
You
no, I
know,
think I think he's I think he's I think he's encountered Chosen many times. I mean, you already know my opinion on this, right? I think that he and Chosen have reconciled, um, and that they're actually kind of what passes for friends, as close a friends as you can be to someone with someone who wanted to kill you.
right.
I don't think Chosen wants to kill him anymore.
So I'm not gonna get into this story because I was like 14, but I had a best friend that did threaten to stab me, and went as far as to bring out a knife and put it in his belt and flash it at me at one point. So we're still friends. We've gone to a few Blazer games in the past few years. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Trent!
Right.
But
Um,
we were 14 years old, and I'll say this, but it involved a young lady.
oh,
So
teenage boys are so stupid.
yes we are and were. So I get it. I totally get it.
Kaz is asking, what if Miyagi had cancer or some illness, never told Daniel, but Chosen knew? Mr. Miyagi was far too much a part of Daniel's life. Daniel, I truly, truly believe Daniel watched Mr. Miyagi die.
And
Um,
also, he'd been
so,
around since, let's see, Mr. Miyagi passed away in 2011. Sam
mhm,
was born 2002. When was Sam born? What year?
2002.
Yeah, so that made her
Should have
what,
been
roughly,
2001, but
sure. But that makes her roughly what, 8? I can't math right now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So roughly 8. So Sam was old enough, and if he had been a part of their life for that long, there's no way that was a secret, or there's no way that is the secret.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not going to be something. It's not going to be anything that happened with Mr. Miyagi once he got to the mainland. But they're also, depending on how deeply they want to dig into this, another possible secret. The question has been asked, since 1986, why did Mr. Miyagi leave Okinawa? Was it because he didn't want to lose or was it because he didn't want to win? Well, what if he knew he could win because he already had?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe that's why Sato's, threatened to go toe to toe with him in all these things,
Right.
because of the man he was. And maybe, yeah, Miyagi fled because he didn't want to kill Sato.
Right. And maybe he already had killed someone.
Hmm.
And I could absolutely see that being something he never told Daniel. But he also taught Daniel how to kill someone with his bare hands.
There was something.
He does
I'm
know.
right. I'm trying to think when this was said. I feel like it was Hayden, probably on Twitter. But aren't we also supposed to find out somebody's backstory was even sadder than Miyagi's? I'm forgetting the
Yes.
wording of it. What was the wording of that? You have a better
That
memory than
Mr.
me.
Miyagi's was the saddest backstory we had seen so far.
Yeah, and so take that what you will. That could have been nothing, but that could also be something.
It would have to be one hell of a something for anyone to have gone through even remotely close to what we know Mr. Miyagi went through.
Right. And I mean, we know Kreese has seen war and all that stuff too, and we've gotten, some of his backstory, not all of it. So,
We've got Supremo in here saying it's possible he killed someone on accident or unintentionally. Yes, that is possible.
hmm
Detective Bat 2024 had a feeling Mr. Miyagi wasn't too proud of the things he did in the war.
you know,
Um,
what if Sato and Miyagi they were both bad kids, and that was their bond. And Miyagi's father trained Sato as well. Uh, at the request of Mr. Miyagi. Gosh,
so
I don't know. I'm
if
just trying to think.
okay, no, I get. I think I get where you're going. If Mr. Miyagi and Sato were like Robbie and Miguel, and they needed their sensei to straighten them out
hmm
and put them on the right path, then that would make Daniel and Johnny together Mr. Miyagi's father.
Okay.
I mean, do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Now
If
I'm
they
thinking about the this.
parallel the story backwards instead
Yeah,
of
okay.
what we've had so far is everything is paralleled forward from the movie. What
You
if
mean
they take something
flipping
from
the
the
script?
show and parallel it backwards?
Okay. Yeah. I like that. You can't keep following the formula, then we're gonna always continue guessing everything correctly.
I just made First Striker's head hurt. I apologize. I do that a lot.
My head hurts.
Um, the more you listen to me talk, the more you will realize I do that to people a lot. Um,
Oh,
Melissa
stop.
Mitchell, not to hate on Crease, but I don't want a Crease backstory. I
Not yet. Not yet.
yeah, I don't mind a Crease backstory, but I don't want him redeemed in any way whatsoever. I mean, show me his sympathetic background. Show me that he was, prove to me that his life was rougher than the man who had to leave his entire family behind, watched his wife and child basically be murdered by the United States government while he was fighting to defend them against the Nazis. Show me Kreese is anywhere near that, and I might understand that he's still human, but I'm never going to like him because he's a child abusing piece of crap.
Yeah.
That's never going to change. Um, yeah, like Amy just said, backstory is fine, understanding is fine. Kreese redemption, never going to buy it. Me either. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Rick. Rick's in.
Hey, Rick's awake. Somebody woke him up.
So another option that I've seen now that we're talking about Kreese too, I've seen it floated a couple of times. Didn't put much faith or stock in it before because Tang Sudo is Korean
hmm
and Miyagi-Do is Okinawan. A lot of people now are starting to think that it's possible that not necessarily that Mr. Miyagi knew what was his name? Kim Sung Young? Is that what Terry said? Their
Oh
teacher
gosh.
from Korea.
No, I don't remember that name. That would have been
But
a good quiz
but
question.
that Mr. Miyagi possibly that Tang Soo-do is an off branch of Miyagi-Do too. But that flies in the face of actual reality. Because Taekwondo and karate kind of developed alongside each other and influenced each other, but they didn't like branch one off the other, right? If anything, they both found their roots in China. Kim Sung Young. But if they both had their roots in China, but they wouldn't have come off of each other. So I don't know if Miyagi-Do is going to end up being related to Cobra Kai somehow.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I don't really see how they could be, because Mr. Miyagi obviously was no longer in Okinawa, or would not have been anywhere in Southeast Asia when Kreese and Terry were there, because he was in California.
Right. Um,
And he would have been young enough to have fought again in Korea, but he probably wouldn't have. But he would have been too old to fight in Vietnam. So he never could have run into either one of them.
right. I don't know. It may not even be that deep in season three. Um, I know that we have some people that want backstories of Mike Barnes. We also have, I don't know if it's JR or Junior, asking if we might even see Kumiko, which I don't know. I think that's going to take away from, if this gives us anything and it's chosen, Daniel's going to be spending time with him. Kumiko just might be mentioned if she's brought up at all, which I think she might be.
I think it's very possible. I also think it's fairly safe to say that Tamlin Tomita was a little busy when they were filming season 3.
Yeah, a lot of busy.
A lot of busy.
Yeah.
When they were filming season 3. But then again, I know a certain Hawaiian restaurant owner who swears that he didn't have time to go anywhere between September and December either. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
fairly
he's
sure
at
we're looking at his
two
face.
restaurants.
Right. I'm fairly
Two
sure we're looking at
restaurants.
his face here. So he went somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, he was busy having lunch with me one day. What's he doing in this season 3?
Well, apparently kicking Daniel's ass, at least right here.
Yeah, it is so crazy because, like, I know I keep bringing up when I went to Yuji's restaurant up in Seattle. We sat there and he sat across from me. I was like, well, what do you think Chosen's been up to? So he wanted to hear what I thought. He never gave me like any thoughts of his own. So
Right. I
I
think he's as good at obscuring this as Ron Thomas was.
yeah, right.
But I also think now that we've seen his face, it's fair game to ask him, are you in season 3?
I mean, it's fair game to ask, but he still doesn't have to answer.
But that's his face.
I know he could still say, I don't know. We will find out, or he just may leave me on read. I don't know.
Amy points out there are direct quick flights from Seattle to Atlanta.
Very nice.
Very good.
Should I mention about this previous trivia?
Yes, actually. I think that's fair game as well.
Okay. Well, I had reached out to Yuji Okamoto to ask him to be our season 1 finale guest host, and I did not hear until the day before that he was unable to make it. But that also wasn't the first time I had asked him. I've asked him previously, and he said that he would not be available for at least 3 weeks or longer. So I waited 4 weeks, and I asked him because it was going to be the last one, and I thought it'd be kind of a cool finale to have him as a special guest. And he said that things are still hectic, but he would let me know.
I think he was waiting for something.
I wonder what that is. Are
Because
you
I
sure about that?
think he may have been a little nervous about letting something slip that he wasn't supposed to.
Could be. It's very possible. We don't know.
It's very possible. In which case,
Yeah.
Netflix, I love you. Thank you for saving my show, but damn you for robbing us of our co-host yesterday.
Yeah.
Because how epic would that have been to have Yuji on the trivia with us?
Yeah, the day before we see what looks like to be him
Right?
in a teaser. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. And I mean, you gave Ron Thomas crap about not telling you he was in season 2 months after the interview
while he's
with
holding
him.
the script.
What would you have said to Yuji if he turned up in the trailer the next morning
Right.
and he had been on with us the day before?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still gonna take him at his word that he is busy, and when he's ready to talk to me again, I will talk. But now that's like, well, if he reaches out and is like, oh, hey, I have some time. What do we even say? Like, we see a frame. You know what I mean?
And that's literally the only frame you can see his face in.
Right. And so obviously, I'm gonna want to wait until we get. No, I would rather wait until after season 3, to be honest with you, to have him come back if he has the time.
Well, yeah, I
But
mean, we don't want to invite him or make him feel pressured in any way to spoil anything.
right.
Mike P is asking, was this scene shot in Atlanta or Okinawa? Amy, I believe, knows the answer to that one. Um, but I will wait for her to tell me whether or not I can say it. Amy also says, tell Yuji about Tony posting pictures in Atlanta and lying, even though we all knew he was lying. Don't be Tony, Yuji.
Who's Tony? Because my uncle's name is Tony.
All because Tony Odell
Ah,
could not resist posting the
I
picture of the
remember.
Lamborghini that he took on a street in downtown Atlanta. And everybody goes, oh, you're in Atlanta. It's October. And he's like, just visiting friends.
Yeah, well, that wasn't a lie either.
And like, we're supposed to believe that, right?
Yeah.
All right, Amy did say yes. Go ahead and say it. This house is in Atlanta. The people who own this house have posted about it being used
And
to film.
also for those that don't know, everything wrapped up basically like what towards the end of mid to late November, and Hayden and some of the crew and cast
And
member
one cast
Ralph
member,
Ralph Macchio,
Ralph,
he raised his hand during our live stream when Brianna asked.
and he almost
Um,
got in trouble, and then he refused to get in trouble, and he was like, "That is not a spoiler. We told them months ago." Ha ha.
uh, but yeah, the crap, I lost my train of thought. Yes, they flew to Okinawa to get some more shots, and Hayden did tweet out an image, which the Cobra Kai account also retweeted, and that was the last image for months. So you guys can probably still go find that. But again, we talk about that live stream. If you guys haven't watched it or maybe forgot about that part, rewatch it. It's on the YouTube.
Okay, so Kaz is answering. Cobra Kai fan is saying maybe Kyler is Miyagi's son. Kaz is saying, is that because Kyler is Japanese? I
Right, because he's not.
believe Cobra Kai fan is joking because obviously Kyler cannot be Mr. Miyagi's son. Even if you set aside the fact that he couldn't possibly be age wise, Kyler is Korean.
Uh,
The actor who plays Kyler is
Right, right.
Korean.
Josa is Korean, and our interview with him, he says that the role of Kyler was not asking for any specific ethnicity. So Kyler could have been any background.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
Um,
going to be Korean just by virtue of the fact that his portrayer is.
right.
He wasn't written
And
to be.
it makes no sense for him to be related to Miyagi without Daniel knowing.
Right. I mean, I don't think there's anything. Other people have mentioned. Oh, well, do you think that Chosen could be Mr. Miyagi's son? Well, no, because then Chosen would have been born in 1943, which would have made him, 42 or 43 when Daniel and Mr. Miyagi went back. But he's not that much older than Daniel.
Right.
I would say I've always thought he was, 18, 19 tops. I never saw him as being over like 20, just because Kumiko talks about them having been children together. So they could not have been children together if he's that much older than her. Right. And she's right around the same age Daniel is. So they're all, just teenagers.
Hmm. All right. Anything else you could think of as we get ready to wrap this up?
Let's see. We have a lot of people asking about Bert. We don't know.
Bert might be in Okinawa as well.
Okay.
He fits in a duffel bag. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I don't think so. Kaz is asking about the possibility that there were two forms of Miyagi-Do, that one is the more lethal form, and that Sato
His
embraced that
school.
one where Mr.
Hmm.
Miyagi stuck with the, the freehand defense. Um, I
So
could
the
see,
Jedi's and the Sith.
because of Sato's relationship with the United States Army in Okinawa, where he was training the servicemen. He did have a relationship with, the U.S. military, but there's no indication whatsoever that he ever took that to Korea or that he ever blended his karate with Taekwondo.
Right.
Um, and I mean, it's always kind of struck out to me that with Cobra Kai being more of a Taekwondo form, why did Kreese call it karate? Because in the 80s, like, we had karate classes, had taekwondo classes at the Y, and they were completely different.
Yeah, the image that we're stuck on right now, again, this is pre-flip here. In the background, is that what is it called, a phonograph or something? Record player? What is that?
Standing back there on the pedestal,
No, it's got the long legs with the open lid.
yeah, I have no idea. I mean, that looks an awful lot like Daniel's uh, Tenengui box. So maybe
Oh, maybe
Chosen
like a
keeps
display
something,
box.
yeah, some kind of
Okay.
box.
I thought it was like a record player. Like I was wondering if we were going to hear that song, that was used, during the country club in Karate Kid 1, and also when Chosen picks up Miyagi and Daniel from the airport in the car.
You know what though? I'm sitting here and I'm looking, and it kind of strikes me just how much Chosen's altar looks like Daniel's at the
Okay.
house.
All right. Yeah, I can
With
see
the
that.
the shelf arrangements and everything that he's got there. That, I mean, that's an awful lot like the arrangement of Daniel's altar at the house.
It looks similar. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not a one for one copy, and it couldn't be anyway because this house existed, you know. Born Hostile, Miyagi has a secret brother, maybe.
I that that could be a secret. I can see that. Maybe he has family members that are still alive that were also very bad people.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I
He
don't
seemed to be pretty
know.
respected, when he went back in part two.
Right, right. It doesn't. He doesn't strike me as anyone that could have been running from anything bad. Yeah,
Oh,
Mike
hold
points
on,
out
my
a
pee. Yeah, yeah,
twin
twin
brother
brother.
named Kazuki. Yes,
No,
and
no,
he's
no, no.
evil.
We debunked that. That's alternate universe
Oh, that's
Miyagi.
right,
Right,
multiverse
right.
Miyagi.
Yeah.
And they all three exist alongside with the. Oh, he has a completely different name. I just forgot it. But he has a different name in the cartoon even.
Eh?
Um, so they all three exist alongside each other, you know. And in one of these worlds, Daniel Larusso has blue eyes. I don't want to live in that world, but um, let's see. If any kid was going to stow away and get to Okinawa, it would be Bert. Amy says.
See? Told you.
I don't necessarily think that whatever Mr. Miyagi's big secret is something. I'm so tired of the everybody's related to everybody thing. Why does it have to be anything to do with secret children, secret fathers, secret brothers?
Right. It makes the world smaller that way,
Right.
and then it makes things predictable as well, knowing those relations and connections.
Right. And
And
it's also that pain in that betrayal in Daniel's voice when he's saying Mr. Miyagi, treated me like a son. That is not something as inconsequential as, oh, he had a brother. This is something that is seriously hugely important. This is something Daniel should have known and
right.
needed to know that Mr. Miyagi didn't tell him.
Again, could be something, could be nothing. Going back to Okinawa, roots of Miyagi-Do, it's something about Miyagi's past that he never revealed to Daniel.
Right, and it's also possible, remember, this is a trailer, and they did this to us last year, where they cut together dialogue from completely different related scenes to make it look like two different people, two people were having a conversation.
Hmm.
That Mr. Miyagi treated me like a son. He would never keep something like that a secret from me. That could be spoken to Amanda before he ever leaves Encino.
That's right.
That's not necessarily what Chosen is responding to in the "Are you so sure about that?"
And it could be something where, Daniel, they're about to spar. Daniel's like, "I'm ready. Are you sure about that?" And here comes a flip. You
Right, and
know,
the two
that could have been.
lines. Oh, go ahead.
No, 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 we're on the same wavelength there. The two
Okay, I was
lines
just gonna,
could just,
the two
yeah.
lines that Daniel is speaking definitely come from two different places. Um, because like the first one, his voice kind of echoes, and the second one it doesn't. So like the sound editing is different on the two.
I'll definitely have to go back. What I wanted to do, and I didn't get a chance to, is rewatch the entire trailer on my 4K TV, and maybe I can try to get an actual literal screenshot with my phone, and maybe the image might be clearer on the TV.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna have to be that pretty well that frame right there, because it
Yeah.
gets blurry on either side. Um, I'm going to go maybe get on my 4K TV and take a nice big picture of that. Um, but I don't know. There's just something about it, you know. It's just it's enough to keep me going till January. Um,
Yeah.
in conclusion, that
Daniel's
is
not.
Yuji Okamoto.
There it is.
Yeah.
What a sight.
No, Amy,
Okay.
I don't have a 4K TV. I literally don't. My TV is 6 years old.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough.
Kal-El, what
So,
if Miyagi and Yukie had a kid? Well, he'd be in his 70s. And she probably would not
what
have still lived in the same village and been respected there.
I think he's saying like from the events of Karate Kid 2.
When they were in their 60s?
Yes. They wait. Yugi waited for him.
Menopause is a thing.
Yes.
Mr. Miyagi could have had a kid Mr. Miyagi could have fathered a child in 1985. Yukie could not have conceived one.
Yeah. Well, look, more theories to come once we get more things. But
Yes.
yeah, I want to thank everybody that gave us your time to jump in on this breaking news of a morning, getting the
Right.
Legacy trailer, getting our first glimpse of a few seconds of season 3, finding out that it's coming sometime in 2021. I'm fine with it. This let's just relive 2018 and kind of do this all over again with brand new fans. It's going to be really exciting. How cool is it going to be that for those that have been around for a year or two, get to be the kind of know-it-all, to these incoming people? You're going to have friends and family that's going to come to you and be like, "Yo, did you watch that Cobra Kai?" I'm like, "I've seen it." Let me tell you what I learned from this amazing podcast called Cobra Kai Companion. Like I'm learning so much from their plus 45 interviews, one on the way, you know, all these things. So you're gonna feel, you're gonna be like the brainiac.
Exactly. And to people who are, to those of you who might be a little bit newer to the whole fandom phenom and the whole fandom experience, you never actually, I never have anyway, never actually managed to get in on the ground floor of the fandom. Like you always find it, a couple seasons in, right? When everything's been established and everybody, knows what's going on everywhere. Um, in on May 3rd of 2018, this fandom did not exist.
Hmm.
We built this.
We built this city.
We built this fandom on Cobra Kai. I'm not going to sing it, but this is ours, and this is what we get to share with the new people coming in, right?
Yep.
Netflix gets the credit for swooping in to save our show, and the big three and the cast get all the credit for creating it and for giving it to us. The fandom is ours, and it's our job to share it with the next few million people.
The new Cobras and Miyagi-Dos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can do it.
I mean, Cobra Kai fan, I need season 3 trailer or teaser. We got the teaser. We're talking about it. We have
Yep.
been for the last half hour.
Yep.
So I think that's a good point to end. I know, a good chunk of the people in the live chat here was probably part of the trivia yesterday. But Brianna, do you want to tease anything that's coming up in the near future? You mentioned our Netflix party that we're having Friday night.
Yes. Still in the planning stages, but it's definitely going to happen. We'll probably get on about 11:45 Pacific time. Yes, that is 2:45 in the morning on the East Coast. Yes, that is 1:45 a.m. in Central Time. We are aware of this, but we are going to at least watch Ace Degenerate together on a Netflix party. So everyone, if you want to be part of that, go out and get the extension.
At netflixparty.com. The
Yes.
instructions are all there. We're not going to hold you guys' hands because the website says that they can feasibly fit 50 people on the Netflix party. So I imagine it can go more, but who knows? But we also want to try to filter out, like, if you can't get into it, there's, I have no other way to say it, but there's going to be other people that do, and maybe you'll just have to watch us stream it without the syncing on YouTube.
Exactly. And we're not going to be able to play the video, or, I mean, we could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to block it out.
Right. You have to see my ugly mug.
Yeah, you'll see Peter, and you'll see my little cartoon girl. And then you'll see the Netflix party chat on the side. We are going to live stream it, so if you can't get into the party, you can still talk to everyone. We'll like translate back and forth or whatever.
Right. YouTube chat will be there.
Right, but you will not have any video available to you.
So we'll make sure that we have the countdown as well too, so you'll be able to start it the same time as us. But I can't imagine why we would pause the stream. But that's the point of the Netflix party, is that it's synced up. But we'll say it. If we are gonna pause it for any reason.
Marvin, that is going to be for you at 2:45 a.m. Friday morning.
Right. So, and the reason we use Pacific Standard Time is because Netflix's headquarters is in San Francisco, which is Pacific. And from the very little research that I've done, it appears that they release content at 12:01 Pacific Standard Time. But it's nothing that Netflix has ever confirmed. So,
oh, you know what? If they don't, we are so screwed.
I know. I that has occurred to me.
We're gonna get everybody up at 3:00 in the morning for nothing.
Yeah, and it would be like a minor waking up to go use a potty break. Just if come 12:15 a.m. Friday morning, and if it's not playing yet Pacific Standard Time, then we'll just call it a night and say, all right, well, we're gonna just recap season 1 the next day.
Yeah, there we go. Sean, it's so late just because that tends to be when Netflix drops stuff. I mean, we have no control over, and we want to do at least the first episode live. Just for fun.
For funsies.
This is what we do at 2:00 in the morning on a Friday for fun.
Look, we do the weirdest things at our channel. If you guys haven't noticed, I'll call Brianna up and say, hey, 10 minutes, let's get on live. Okay, all right. And then we'll be 20 minutes late because I gave her no time to prepare.
Right?
Yeah, we do a lot of things off the cuff. We're new to this YouTube, channel, and we're coming late on it ourselves, and we're slowly putting up old episodes from the audio podcast. So we're just trying to build a presence, and we'll get there.
We will.
Yeah, but there's other people. Just to give Drew a shout out, Cobra Kai Kid. He's already released his thoughts on season 3. Or his thoughts of like everything this morning. So I'm going to check that out here pretty soon. And I would imagine Watch Party's going to do one too.
Yep. If he hasn't done it while we were on, I'm sure he will do it very, very shortly.
I agree.
So Yeah, I mean, there's content. You know, you guys can go from us to Drew to Watch Party to, you know, you're going to be able to hit everybody up all day long.
Cobra guys might do a reaction. They may not, but those are our buddies, and check them out if you guys haven't already. They're a hilarious duo. Um,
Don't expect facts
they often announce that facts do not exist in their
in their
dojo.
dojo. Nope.
So we talked about the Netflix party. What else do we got coming this week? I got the interview that I had this morning. I'm gonna edit that immediately after this stream, and hope to put that up immediately. I'm gonna take the Yuji Okamoto interview. I'm gonna put that on the YouTube ahead of where it's supposed to be released, but I'll make sure it's still in the same order. But it's just I'm not gonna wait for to get to when Yuji's interview came in order. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it up now.
Right.
You
Strike
know?
while the getting's good or something. I just
When the
completely mixed
sigh
up
hits
that.
the ground.
There we
I
go.
don't know.
Sharp, pointy things.
Are you sure about that? So um, you think people would buy a T-shirt with that quote? Like that's already my favorite quote, season 3.
What?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? Yeah. I don't know. Shh, probably.
Yeah, Melissa, netflixparty.com. All the info's there.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about, if you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, if you're, on our Facebook group, we'll be talking about it, giving heads up, throughout the week, reminding people that this is going to happen. So it's a browser extension. It has to be done on a PC.
Chrome, I think,
Yeah,
is preferred.
right. Chrome is definitely preferred. No, it's no Sean. Sean's saying that he thought we just meant a watch party. No, it's an actual legitimate extension for a browser that allows up to 50 people to watch the same thing at the same time. To where if one person pauses, it pauses for everyone. So everyone is synced up constantly, and it allows a live chat on the side. So
Sorry, my wife's work phone is going off, and I can't shut it off. Isn't it funny? Like I don't know how to work a home phone.
you pick it up and hang it up.
Well, I tried that. I've even tried hitting the hang up button, and it was still ringing.
Well,
Anyway, sorry
yep,
about that, guys. I can't edit that out.
that's okay.
Um, let's see. Oh, what the hell? The content creators, we're dropping another collaboration later this week. There's another tease for you guys. Welcome to Cobra Kai Week.
Yes. We have at least one, potentially two, and possibly, if I get my ass in gear, three new videos. Two of them character studies, and one of them a little bonus content episode that we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So a lot of happenings. If you guys haven't yet, follow us on Twitter, Cobra Kai Pod, Brianna at Brianna25.
Yes.
Okay. Same thing for Instagram. Your brand is the same, Brianna25 everywhere. Instagram for
I'm not
us,
a brand. It's my name.
it is well, it's still a brand. I mean, 25 is not your last name, right?
Well, no.
No.
It's how
Okay.
old I was once upon a time.
Cobra Kai podcast for the Instagram. Clearly, you guys are listening to the channel. And while you're there, why don't you just check out some of the videos that you might have missed? We keep mentioning the live stream with the big three and Ralph and Billy. So plenty of stuff to check out in the meantime. But I'm
Why
excited,
did Kaz
you guys.
just say I smell like cinnamon?
It's really late for him. That it, I think that's Kaz, go to bed, dude. He's in the UK. If you're smelling cinnamon, you need to go to sleep.
Right, you're having a
But
stroke.
and with that, you guys, be sure to check on him after we get off too.
Right.
And with that, thank you guys for listening to us with very short notice, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Alrighty, bye.